Welcome back to Vixen Purple's Crochet and More. I am your host, Cheryl. Today is March 9th of 2024. Hold on just a second. Sorry, I had to yell at my cat, Sweet Pea, because he wanted to use a furniture for a scratching post, and I don't like that. Anyhow, to get back to the subject, today is Saturday, March 9th, like I said before, 2024. Today, I am coming on to you guys to talk to you guys about a get to know me. That is Rags. He is my white fluffy butt. Come here, Rags. You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, 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 oh. Here he is. This is one of two cats that I have. And this is Raggy Poo. He is my boy. And you guys have already heard the story about him. Um, Sweepy, he's running around here somewhere, but he doesn't want to come up here now. But hold on, let me see if I can coax him up. Hold on. And this happy little guy, who is looking at me very strangely in the camera, is Sweepy. He is my animal that I've rescued from a, well, I didn't rescue. He was a rescue cat that I adopted from a rescue that was here in the Springs. And this is Sweepy. He is my cat that has the allergies. And sometimes you'll hear him in the background. But this is him. This is my other fluffy butt. He's about, I want to say, close to 5 years old. Yeah, he's a good boy. So now he's going to run away and stuff. Um, Anyhow, I do apologize. You will be hearing some life noises. I have the window open because it's a nice day. We're supposed to hit the high 50s, I believe. And, household work I got to do. Dogs are in the backyard doing their thing and stuff like that and enjoying the sun while they can. Anyhow, today I wanted to come on to you guys and let you guys scratch that. I wanted to come on and make another get to know me video because I have a lot of new subscribers thanks to a few of my friends and channels that have shouted me out over the last week or so, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So I made some notes so I don't go very far. By the way, hello everybody. I am Cheryl. I'm in Colorado Springs where I reside in Colorado. I had originally moved here in 2008 and has stayed since. So that's going to be touched bases in my further down in the video, but I wanted to come on and let you guys know. Some of you will hear this already because I've already touched bases on previous videos, and basically I just wanted to kind of touch a little bit on it today. You guys know that I have been, well, not a lot, but my grandmother taught me how to crochet. She taught me the basics to get, basically doing the granny square, and been doing it forever since. And I'm like going, I see all this granny square stuff, and I'm like going, oh God, here we go again with the granny squares or the granny stitch. Anyhow, my grandmother taught me in my late 20s, I believe. She taught me, my daughter was about 2 years old. My son I just had him, and that was, oh my God, 25 years ago, just about. Anyhow, she basically taught me. I was watching her, and she's made me several blankets in the past and everything else like that. And they were just absolutely beautiful. And one day I was sitting there next to her, and I go, Grandma, can you teach me how to do this? And she goes, why, of course I can. So she did. And so I've been crocheting on and off for over the 20 years or so, from the time my son was little. So back to that. I am a mother of 3 adult children. My daughter is my oldest. My oldest son is my middle child, and he currently lives with me. My daughter is in Idaho with her dad. And my youngest son, Brenton, is, oh my gosh, he's going to be 21 this year. Holy cow. Yeah, so lot of kids, a lot of ages. Um, my youngest son is intellectually disabled, and that was due to the medications or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. And he's basically borderlining on um, autism and so forth on that. And I know autism is now in that full spectrum of everything now. So it's a little crazy, and it's hard for me to explain everything. So I'm not going to do that. But anyhow, so I'm mother of three children, and I am on my second marriage to my high school sweetheart, who was actually my best friend, and never thought of him as my boyfriend. And then till, of course, one day he was walking with another girl, and I got mad about it and stuff. So long story short is we went our separate ways. We had families and kids, and then one he said he got divorced and I was divorced, and I says, okay, well, you know what? Why not try to get together? And so he said, okay, let's do it. And next thing I know is we're married and have been together ever since. Yes, he drives me nuts like all men do, but that's okay. I love him, and that's the most important part. And he puts up with my craziness. But then again, you have no idea how crazy he was in high school and everything else like that. But that's a different tangent. Anyhow, I moved here to Colorado Springs in 2008. And like I said, I have been here ever since. And about almost 6 years now. It's hard to believe, almost 6 years. My niece said, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and I'm like, "Really?" And I'm like going, "Okay." I go, "I'm gonna make you a baby blanket." Well, by that time, I did. The only thing I knew was how to do the granny stitch and single crochets, double crochets, that kind of thing, and nothing elaborate. So I made her a granny square blanket. And if you guys hold on, I think I have a picture of it. I might. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, guys, I do apologize. I did finally find it. It's only been a second for you, but it's been a couple of minutes for me. But this is what the photo that I mean, the baby blanket that I made my niece, and I do apologize. It is a poorly taken picture, but it's the only picture I have, and I thought that turned out really pretty. And by the way, she loved it. Another thing I made too in that span, let me see, I just saw it, was this blanket. I have no idea where I put it or what's going on with it, but I made this one as well. Whoops, sorry. Where did it go? Come back here. There we go. So that's the other blanket that I made. And it was a simple single crochet, double crochet, and an alternating pattern and stuff. And so anyhow, I made those when she told me that she was pregnant, and kind of went ever since that way. And I realized that I enjoyed doing the crocheting, and in the process, I told myself, I go, what are you going to do? Are you going to give this up and pick it up later on and a few years later, whatever? And I was like, no, I really want to start creating more. Well, all I knew how to do was blankets. I didn't realize that there was a huge community of crocheters out in the world. I thought at one time that crocheting and knitting was a dying art, and only to find out through the magic of YouTube that it is not. That there's so many people out there that does um, crochet tutorials and stuff like that. And how I got into it was I was clicking on different things to make with crochet on YouTube, and lo and behold, one of the most prominent channels that popped up was Bag O' Day Crochet. And I'm like going, oh, cool. So I started watching her, and she taught me a lot that I wasn't even expecting to do. And then some things I learned from patterns because I was still trying to learn how to read patterns. Um, it was quite difficult, I will admit. And especially if you're not used to all the terminology, it can be difficult. But then again, I just said, okay, when I'm having a pattern that's giving me difficulties, I usually put it aside, don't mess with it, and then come back to it at a later time and work the pattern. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's where we are on that. So anyhow, I have been going strong since ever since. I do have my moments where I just don't feel it. And that's not fun, but I see the yarn and I'm like going, I need to finish this, or I need to make this, or I want to make this, but the desire is just not there to pick it up. And that is part of what I have is basically depression. Sorry, you hear my kitties there wanting to play with tissue paper that they found. So anyhow, those days is when I have severe depression and it's up. I You guys won't know it without looking at me that I have it, but I do. I do have depression, and it's related back to when I was a child. So there was some traumas and stuff like that, but that's another story, and I don't want to get into that part, and that is a future video for probably later on down the line. So anyhow, going back to everything, I'm an able oh sorry scratch that. I am an avid animal lover. As you see, I have my two cats. You guys know that I have my basset hound and Holly the husky, who is my son's dog, but she's technically my dog too because she likes to hang out with me too. And then I have my Oscar butt. And you know what? Let me show you a picture of Oscar because he is really hard to get up here on the camera when he doesn't want to because he wants to be a pain. So let me show you guys. Let me find a good picture here. Well, this is a good picture. This is Oscar. He is a Boston Bull. He's a Boston Terrier mix, and he is a snuggle bug. He wants to be under a blanket at all times, and he just loves it. Here's a better picture of him. He is an old man. When I got him, I basically rescued him from an abusive house, and I told them that they were lucky that I wasn't going to press charges against them for animal abuse. And I just basically told them, I'm taking the dog. And they said, okay, they could take him. So I did. And let me see if I can get a better picture. This is him outside in the yard, or not, and we were out traveling. There we go. Oh, come on. That's Oscar right here. This is Oscar. So, yeah, he's a good little dog. He is about 13 years old now, and I've had him since. I've had him for over 6 years now. And when I got him, he was about 6 years old, roughly, that I could guesstimate. So he's an old man. He likes to be under the blankets all the time and snoring. Just like my husband. He likes to snore too. So anyhow, I am a what they call a Breyer horse collector. A lot of this stuff that I have, if you don't mind, I'll put you on pause and I will grab a couple of them, then I'll show you what they look like. Sorry about that, guys. This is just a part of my collection. This is a what they are. This is a Breyer horse. I happened to pick this guy up at the thrift store. You can still see her sticker remains because I got to wash it. I picked her up at the thrift store for a really good price, and I love it. This is a Breyer horse, and Breyer's made. They're still making horses and other stuff, but they had series of horses where they had them in different molds and everything else like that. This is one mold. It's called the Running Mare and Foal set. Sometimes I find the mare together, sometimes in the foal. Sometimes I don't, and this is one of the things that I get. Breyer also made what we call animals, and this is one of them. I don't recall what this bull is, but he is one of the series that they've made, and I don't think they make these animals anymore. I just know that they do the horses, and they also do what they call the collector horses, which is limited editions, that kind of stuff, and they are pricey, very pricey. So when I find them like this, I pick them up, and they go into my collection. So behind me in a box is my mom's collection that I've always coveted when I was little. So she gave me all of her horses, not to mention all the horses that I have. And I would have to say they're running a lot. Probably over 500 maybe, if that, I think, and stuff. So I think it's an interesting collection. um, Things I like to do is basically thrifting. You guys have seen some of my thrift store hauls with yarn and everything. I think that's a good way to build stash if you don't have um, a lot of money to spend, but you can find a brand new skein of yarn at the thrift stores for like $1, $2, depending on which thrift store you go to and what their facilities are. I have gotten in the past quality yarns, high-end yarns, and other stuff like that. So that's one of the things I like to do. And of course, you guys like to see, I do yarn hauls as well. I also show my creations on this channel. And also what I do too is I do loom knitting, I do machine knitting, and I am trying hand knitting. Honestly, hand knitting is more harder for me than it is for me to loom or um, machine knit. The other things I do too is make stitch markers. This is what I have left after I've given a lot of them away, is my stitch markers that I have created and stuff. And then I find these little trinket holders just to display them. But that's one part. I still have a lot more. This one is a lot more too, where I have made, these are all the stuff that I have made or I have recycled, whoops, timber, where I've recycled a jewelry piece or something to that effect into the yarns. But that's what I've made that I like making. So like, for example, these guys are earrings, but I think they're so cute that I decided to go ahead and make them into stitch markers instead. So that's one of the things I've done. Another one, here's, I'll show you guys as soon as I can get it to clip on, is this is also an earring set too. I thought this would be great for stitch markers. But anyhow, that's what I've been up to. So I'll recycle some of these older pieces of jewelry that don't have a mate and make them into stitch markers, or I will create them. So that is one of my little hobbies that I like to do. The other thing is I've been trying to do is consider going into making my own project bags, but I have the sewing machine, I have the materials, I just haven't gotten to it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get to it. But that's where I'm at. That is some of the things that I like to do. I am a big horse lover. As you can see by my model horses. When I was younger, I used to have horses. I used to have a quarter horse, a Tennessee Walker, and my family had a Belgian, not a Belgian, American Cream Draft at one time. And I'm just trying to remember all the horses that, and I've had a Shetland pony at one time. And I just loved them. I had a buckskin mare that I just absolutely loved. And the buckskin is pretty much this color. And this is what they look like as a buckskin, in case you don't know about horses. Her name was Candy, and she was definitely my teacher. She taught me a lot about horses and stuff like that, and I will never ever forget that mare. Never. She was just a sweetest horse that I could ever have. The other horse that I had, who also taught me a lot too, was a Tennessee Walker, which is called a plantation walker, and not one of the stuff that you see in a horse show where they have the big high stepping with massive weights on their feet and stuff. This was just a plantation walker. His name was BJ, and he taught me a lot too. And one time, a good memory of between him and I is we were out with our friends and we were out horse riding around the uh, Southern California, which where I'm from is Southern California, through the San Fernando, Burbank area. That's where I grew up and was raised, born and raised, and stuff. So yeah, BJ and I, we one day we were out riding with my friends, and one guy had a Missouri Foxtrotter who was just a gaited horse. Um, did something, and my horse and BJ just like, I ain't doing this, and my BJ just kind of walked out, and he was like going. So I mean, all I did was just basically drop the reins and set a little straighter, and he flew at a walk. He outwalked a Missouri Foxtrotter. And the gentleman that was riding the horse walks up to me. He goes, "You want to sell your horse?" And I'm like going, "You ain't got enough money for this horse to be bought. Period." And he walked away. So it's like, oh God, I can't believe somebody actually walked up and asked me to sell my horse to him. I'm like, nope, you ain't got enough money. Plus, at that time, when I was riding him, he was actually my mom's horse. And then I basically took over taking care of him and riding him and stuff like that, just to get him out and exercising and stuff. So I've been riding horses on and off since I was a teenager, and had horses up until I was 23, I think. And then, long story short, things happened and I wound up not having them anymore. But anyhow, the memories that I have with them is just awesome, and I love it and stuff like that. Then you just can never know. And so when I see horses or donkeys or something like that in other channels, I'm like going, oh, I want to go pet them. I want to go love on them, but I don't, and stuff like that. But yes, I do also watch other channels that involved animals and stuff like that, or farming type things, because I used to like doing that when I was younger. I used to have vegetable plots, and long story short is one year my mom and dad and I moved into a house that had 7 huge garden beds, and I remember that they had plants in them, but a lot of them were just weeds. And so one day I got out and started breaking up the ground and getting it ready for planting. I did like 7 beds doing that. And my dad comes along and goes, "No, we're planting this. No, we're planting that. No, we're planting this." And I looked at him and I go, "You didn't get off your butt to come out here and help me break this ground up for you to dictate to me on this." But he did. I remember one year we planted over 10 tomato bushes of different varieties. We were so inundated with tomatoes that I would literally take boxes to my work and say, "Free, take them." I couldn't believe it. That's how much. My mom couldn't make spaghetti sauce fast enough, or we couldn't get it all to where we could can it and stuff like that. and we were just wasting it. So I'm like going, okay. But I was growing corn, squash. We had zucchini, a lot of zucchini and stuff. So it's like all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that was a fond memory for me. Um, about 2 years ago, my dad passed away. I went to California and was helping out with him and stuff like that. And it was not fun. I still miss my dad a lot. And I'm going to start crying. I don't want to, but anyhow, it was not fun. But I still miss him and I love him. The other things I've been doing is just collecting yarn, showing my makes and all that other fun stuff. Um, I'm trying to check my notes here to see what else I could talk about, but that's who I am. That's me. I'm Cheryl. I am Vixen Purple Crochet and more. And I've been, like I said, on and off crocheting for about 20 plus years now, and I don't think I'm going to stop unless my hands stop, period, which hopefully never happens. But anyhow, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you guys. I hope this is informational for you. I hope if there's any questions that you guys would like to ask, please, by all means, go ahead and ask me. Leave them in the comments, or if you feel it's too personal, just go ahead and email me. I'll try to answer them. I have my email down in the description box below all the time. So, if that's what you'd like to know, that'd be great. And like I said, if you guys have any questions on me or something like to know, feel free to ask, because you never know until someone asks, right? Yeah, this has been an awesome journey that I have. When I started this channel, I was a nervous wreck and just like, oh my God, I was scared. But now I'm getting to talk to you guys like this, it's just different. I just enjoy showing off my stuff that I make. I try to, hopefully, I can inspire you guys on some things. I've been trying to uh, create some stitching and, well, not stitching patterns, but I don't do tutorials because I'm not set up for it yet. I'm just basically working off with my cell phone and tripod, and that's about it. I'm going to see if I can try to do tutorials, but I don't think that's going to happen in the near future. So that's what one of the things that we're going to work on doing, is so that I can show you guys on patterns that if I make something, I'll show it to you guys, or give you guys the best description. Other than that, I am I like, um, I like the series. Um, oh my gosh, what is it? George R. Martin's the Dragons. Game of Thrones. That's it. Game of Thrones. I liked the series. The only thing I did not like was the season 8, which was the finale, and I didn't like it at all. But that's okay. I also like what the heck is it? Outlander. The Outlander series. I like that too. So when I get to see that, I'm like going, "Oh my gosh." you know. Um that's also a good series that I like. I also have my favorite animation movies is actually How to Train Your Dragon, and I like dragons. The what got me started on that was the actual movie called Aragon, and if you guys haven't seen that, that's a good movie. They could have done better on it, but for what it is, it's good. I liked it, and I've been hooked ever since. It's been a long time since I watched it, but it's still a good movie. But anyhow, guys, I wanted to say thank you for joining me. I hope this is helpful. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys have any questions, please give me a call. Give me a call, email me, or leave a comment in there and ask those questions, because I will try to answer them. I'll either answer them on another video or whatever. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to be hopefully trying to make another video here shortly. I was a bad girl. I have a very, 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 very small Michael's haul, and I have to make another video for my finished makes that I've done, and maybe some works on progresses. Work on some whips. That's what it is. Work in progresses. I'm looking around trying to see what else I'm looking to think of what I can do or say, but I can't. So I guess with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Please hit the likes and share, subscribe buttons. Share me out if you can. That would be great. I have a small goal of getting to 1,000 and hopefully get monetized, that kind of stuff. And who knows? We'll see what happens. But also, I want to. I'm still working on my 500 subscriber giveaway. I know I'm getting behind, but I'm trying to do an acrylic cotton blend package for those that are allergic to wool, because my other package is going to be wool, and I don't know what else. And I don't want to get anybody sick or have a severe allergic reactions because of the wool. So anyhow, you guys, I want to say thank you. So big hugs from me to you guys. You guys take care. Try to remember to have a blessed day. And guys, don't let fear bite you. Face it and rise against it. That's all I can say. Is one of my favorites quotes is Zig Ziglar, and it's basically fear. And there's two meanings to that fear. It says forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And guys, facing and rising and fighting for that is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And yes, it's more easier for us to forget it and run. It is. I've been down that road. I know. But I like the latter part, is face everything and rise. And guys, I've been doing it. Doesn't show, but I've been doing it. So anyhow, big hugs from me to you guys. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.